Alright, today we're taking a look at Chorus, a game that I think went under the radar due to the busy holiday season and a couple of heavy hitters this month of January. So I've been wanting to cover this for a while. Um, it's an excellent space sim shooter in third person that's heavily weighed down by a few things, and I'll go over that. But first, let's take a look at the ultra wide support. Now, if you're on a screen that's 3440 by 1440, then this game is going to be perfect ultra wide for you. No need for fix or anything like that. Um, if you're like me that have 3840 by 1600, there is a slight black bars during cutscene on the left and right. And it's only worse if you have a 32 by 9 screen. That's the only issue with the ultra wide, but menus and everything is displayed appropriately, 21 by 9. The game runs really well. It's very well optimized, and it doesn't take much to run. The graphics is pretty simplistic. Has a nice range of color palette. Kind of reminds me of Homeworld a little bit. The explosion is really nice, and everything really flows really well. There's no hitches or anything like that. Now, the game was designed with a mouse and keyboard. You can play with a controller, but it's best with the mouse and keyboard because it was designed specifically for that, it seems. You control the ship with your mouse. Tilting up and down, left and right is with the mouse. And then the WAD keys is to roll left, right, and accelerate. And all your weapons are bind to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys. Nothing feels out of place. Like I said, it's really specifically designed for the mouse and keyboard. Unfortunately, it doesn't support a flight stick of any sort, so you're stuck with just a mouse and keyboard. So yeah. Now the gameplay is extremely fun, and with the tight controls, it's probably one of the highlight of the game. Unfortunately, there's a couple things that really weighs down the game, and the first is, to me, is the story and the way it's told. In the beginning, you really have no context to her, Nara, as the character. So you don't really, the way it's told through kind of like holograms, and she has an inner voice, and you don't really know where that came from, and it gets really annoying really quick and very repetitive. Now, in the case of something like Senua's Sacrifice, you at the very beginning you understand why she has these inner voice, so it makes sense. And in that game, it didn't bother me at all. But in this game, after like a couple dozen times, it really gets super annoying, and it just becomes gibberish. And it doesn't really. It gets worse because throughout, side missions and single player missions, she's constantly in your ear as well, and it just gets really repetitive, and it's outright annoying.
Big and slow, the perfect circle target.
For how fast paced the game is and how fun the combat is, the game does everything in its power to try to slow it down with the way it tries to tells the story through holograms. So you're constantly just in idle mode listening to these hologram as the story unfold. And it's even worse when you're doing side mission because there's going to be a ton of these holograms kind of littered throughout. So you're always kind of like in idle mode listening to it. So I after a while I kind of skip the side mission, and I tend to never do that. Sometimes I do side mission more than the main story to the point where I don't even finish the main story. Great example of that is Ghost of Tsushima. I've done so much side quest that I still haven't finished the main story for that. So I think by the time I do finish it, I'll probably be out on the PC. And one last nagging issue I have is the constant scanning that you have to do in the environment. Mission is going to require you to scan for things and to lock in on it, but unfortunately, it doesn't stay when you scan it. So until you at the destination, you're constantly having to hit the E key to scan the environment. Again, that's just another repetitiveness that's not necessary, and it's kind of just annoying as well. Now, this game should definitely be in your wish list if you're into the third-person flight sim, something akin to like Everspace, for example. The combat is extremely fun. Unfortunately, I have to say, wait for a sale, for a Steam sale, to pick it up because of those negative points that I mentioned. All right, guys, that's the breakdown of Chorus, and thanks for watching. And I will see you on the next breakdown. Take care, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.